Hey everyone, this is Kevin Richards here from Total Singing Dojo here on YouTube and TotalSinging.com on the web for voice lessons worldwide. As always, check out the description below to get both my vocal courses just for $50. That's 2 courses for $50 is a digital download. There's male and female versions listed down there. Again, please like and subscribe, share this video if you think it's wonderful, fantabulous, and superb. Again, comment below, ask your questions, please. I'm more than happy to answer them. If you ask a really good question, I'll make a video here about it and mention you by name and make you famous. Okay, so today's lesson will be on how to start erasing your vocal break. Awesome. Now, here we go. I'm going to talk about this. Now, there's a lot of videos here on YouTube about erasing the vocal break. Now, what is the vocal break? Let's go through the mechanics of that. Well, the vocal break is a switching of laryngeal muscles. You have the anterior and the posterior. You have muscles in the front and muscles in the back. The muscles in the front are directly attached to the vocal cords. They're the one we speak with, the ones we swallow with, the main muscles for controlling the larynx. Then you have a pair in the back called the posterior muscles. And those are the ones that aid in the additional stretch to get the voice to stretch really high for really high notes. You might sometimes hear others refer to these as maybe mechanism 1, mechanism 2, crocothyroid or rytenoid muscles, crocororytenoids. Okay? Just think of them as like the main and sort of the auxiliary guys, or muscle 1 and muscle 2, right? Now what happens here is that the human voice is not designed to smoothly switch between these two muscle groups. Like every other muscle in your body, like here in the arm, right? My bicep here pulls the wrist towards my shoulder, and the tricep here extends the wrist away from my shoulder, right? You got one set of muscle working here. While this one works, this one relaxes. While this one's working, this one's relaxed. Now, they worked independently. So in the voice, it's the same thing. When we get to a certain point in our vocal range, there is a switch between your main guys, your dominant guys, and sort of your submissive or your subdominant ones, right? And that switch over in most people is very abrupt. Now, this is where the whole thing about mixed voice comes in. And that is what we're trying to do, is we're trying to get these two muscle groups, instead of being separated, working independently, me, then you. We're trying to get them for a series of notes to work at the same time, so that there's a slow handoff of notes from the dominant to the subdominant, right? Or from the front to the extent, the posterior to anterior, right? So there's this gradual switching of the musculature. And when that happens, there is no abrupt switch or yodel or crack, whatever. Like I said, the human voice is not designed to do this smoothly. It's not needed for human survival. In human speech and communication, that smoothness, that mixing of musculature sounds is not needed for human survival. So it's not built in. Now, you will see some people that just do it effortlessly, and I hate those people, right? Because the rest of us have to work really hard to get it. Now, I've had students come in and they can just sing right through the break with no problem at all. They have other issues like breathing or pitch or tonality, but for some reason they just have no break in their voice whatsoever, and I hate them. So I'm going to show you a very simple beginner version of how you can start to sort of get these two muscle groups to start to work together. Think of it as sort of when you're like in a relay race, right? There's one guy's holding the baton, right? And there's another guy comes up on the other guy, and the other guy grabs it, and they run along for a couple of steps until this guy feels that, until this guy, really the first guy, feels that this guy has the baton. Then he'll let go and let him take off. There's a period of time there for a few steps where they're both holding on to it. And they're secure that each one, okay, he has it, now I can let go. That's what we need the voice to do. We need to get them to work together and be confident in your brain that the dominant guy in the front can let the guy in the back go. And this is how we do that. Very simple, first one too. is to start to slide in that break area, right? Most people will try to do this, it's very abrupt, right? So if we do that, that's right there, that E, if we start that, the E, the F sharp is probably where most people will start to break. Most male voices. The women will start to break somewhere here, right? Somewhere around that G, maybe sometimes around the A. Yeah, right? That A is usually where women will start to break. Men, somewhere around the E or so. The E, the F sharp, right? So I'm just going to take you through a 5-tone scale. I'm going to show you how to do this. The way to start to erase your vocal break, right? So we're going to go like this. We go, instead of A, which is very abrupt and it's kind of hard to control where the break will happen. A, slow it down. A, now if it breaks, say towards the top note there. A, or it wobbles, it's a little unstable. Slide from the 4th note into the 5th note. So like this. A, slide through the break, right? There's my break right there, right? So, even if you have to go into a very light, sort of heady, falsetto-y sound, that's still better than breaking. You're at least teaching the voice to hang on and to get these two muscle groups to work at the same time. You're creating a quote-unquote mixed sound, or at least a mixed mechanism. You're getting the two muscle groups that kind of mixed at the same time, right? So, hey, right? Hey, and there's no break. Now, over time, you're able to get that into hey, and sort of muscle your way through the whole thing. But at first, even if it wobbles a little at the top, as long as you don't have a break, you're on the right road. Hey, that's a lot better than hey, right? At least you're teaching the brain how to not suddenly shift. Hey. If you're really good at hearing a 5th, you can just do a slide or a siren between those two. Hey. Back off your pressure, make it really small, make it really light so it doesn't break. Hey. 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 Now, if you notice, I'm always starting with a nice full bottom note and then backing off and making it smaller into the higher note or the upper note, right? Hey! Always start with a full note. So you've got that nice full compression because that's what you want. You don't want to start with hey. You've taught nothing. You've taught your voice nothing. Hey! Now, when you get really good at that, go up and then do it in reverse. Hey! Now, it might be a little bit harder not to break on the way down, but that's okay. Just keep doing it slowly. If it breaks on the way down, make it even slower and slide. Like a stop sign, slide through on purpose, right? No full stop. Kind of look, slide, and kind of go through, right? So, hey! You don't have to go back to the fifth if you don't want to. If you can't hear it, just slide back down to your lowest note and just try to go as slow as you can and not get a break in there. It might wobble a little bit, but a wobble is still better than a break. A wobble means that your voice is trying to figure out how to get the two muscle groups to work together. It's just that the connection between the two is not overly stable at the moment. It's wobbling. If there was no mixing of musculature there, you would get a complete break. If you get a little bit of a wobble, that means your voice is trying to figure out, your brain is trying to figure out what to tell your voice, how to get these two muscle groups to work at the same time. You just have to stick with it and keep doing it over and over and over again. The quintessential point I want you to take away from here is do not try to rush getting rid of your vocal break. It might happen quickly. It might take you a month. It might take you 3 months. It might take you a year to get it away. However long it takes is how long it takes. You cannot rush the human body in how it learns a physical movement. Especially fine ones like this. This is fine motor control with something we cannot see. So you have to be very, very precise and very, very slow with it. Teach it gradually. Till next time, this is Kevin Richards here at TotalSingingDojo.com. Total Singing Dojo here on YouTube and TotalSinging.com on the web for voice lessons worldwide. Till next time, keep rocking, keep practicing. See you.